let's get to this story right here. FTX founder SBF has been investigated for crypto market manipulation. Okay, this is no surprise. This has been rumored for quite some time that FTX, Alameda, specifically Alameda, did something with Luna because that's what they do. How did SBF make all his money? Through arbitrage, through manipulating the market. Even CZ didn't outright say his name, but CZ early on said someone was trying to do some shady things on Binance. Okay, I think he was trying to crash their futures market or somehow try to manipulate it with a ton of assets or funding back in the day, right? And that's when he kicked them out. And that's when he actually SBF started FTX. So that's in his wheelhouse. That him and his team, their algorithms, their bot trading, all this stuff, they're looking for, I guess, ways to outsmart the market, right? And one could say, well, that's market manipulation. So they are being investigated for that. Obviously, I think most of you guys already know what happened back in May. The UST got depegged, and then we saw Luna go from 100-something down to where it is. Well, now it's the Luna Classic, but 6 trillion Luna tokens was minted because UST collapsed from $1 down to, I don't know where it ended up, but it went, really, really low. And then because of redemptions, because of how the algo works, it minted $6 trillion worth of Luna. Okay, so now it's a lot of Luna Classic, and then we still have regular Luna. The regular Luna is Luna Classic, and then we have new Luna, just called Luna, because Kwon forced a contentious hard fork and forced it upon everyone, which no one wanted. And now I'm hearing Terra Station doesn't support Luna Classic anymore because they're upgraded, whatever. So it's just a whole mess. Yes, Kwon is, he's not forgiven, even if this is true, because he did a lot of shady stuff, of course, as well. But Kwon is coming out with some of his theories, or could be truths, right? And this also relates to Genesis. Genesis, we know, is $1 billion in the hole, right? $1 billion in the hole, and they are looking at bankruptcy. But they are also tied into this. So according to Kwon, he's asking Genesis to reveal that $1 billion in the hole to Alameda. Was it because they loaned $1 billion UST to SBF or Alameda? This was back before the crash. We knew that there was someone that had enormous amount of UST, and that is how they were able to depeg the UST, by trading it all in and crashing prices everywhere, right? So did SBF Alameda start this by, first of all, borrowing $1 billion worth of UST from Genesis Trading? Also, it seems like Alameda borrowed 9 figures in Bitcoin from Voyager right before the depeg, and other firms 10 figures. Okay, so we're talking about massive amount of borrowing from these firms, right? Possibly because they wanted to buy even more UST. So that's how they crashed everything. Maybe it was unintentional, because we know that Caroline is no genius, right? Maybe they thought that, hey, they could cause it to depeg for a little bit, of course, arbitrage and make some money, and then UST will recover. They didn't know how shaky UST was, and they just brought it down. I think that's a very likely scenario, that SBF and Caroline, because of their money problems, they borrow all this money, they want to arbitrage, they want to manipulate the market, cause it to depeg so that they can benefit from that, but then they didn't know that it actually would bring down the whole thing, and Luna crashed and burned. I mean, that's actually a pretty good, I would say that's a pretty good theory right there. There's other things. If you go down, people ask, well, is that true? Because, Three Arrows Capital which also went down. Alameda had a lot of exposure to Three Arrows Capital, so why would they hurt themselves, right? And Do Kwon answered, well, Three Arrows Capital exposure to Luna was not that large, 100 to 200 million. But again, that theory makes sense that they probably didn't think that Luna and UST was going to go under. They probably did it just to cause it to depeg, cause it to come down a little bit so they could arbitrage, and then it comes back up, right? They were just looking for that moment to trade. But instead, they brought the whole damn thing down, right? So if you think about it, almost every single collapse in the market, well, no, every single collapse that has happened in 2022 and the ones that are still collapsing now are all related to FTX and Alameda. If you think about it, every single thing, starting with Luna, right? And then you had Three Arrows Capital. Yes, they are involved. And then you look at the lending companies like Voyager. Yeah, a close connection there. Now you look at, others, Genesis. They're probably pulled in. Yeah, because they were the ones that loaned SBF so much money, right? So Genesis pulled in. BlockFi got pulled in. Like literally every single company that went under this year, outside the ones that were hacked and stuff, but like every single one, they crashed because of FTX. But again, this doesn't take blame off of these guys, right? They made risky loans. They should have never made uncollateralized loans, right? That's on them. So this doesn't forgive everyone. This doesn't forgive Three Arrows Capital or Genesis or BlockFi or Celsius, Voyager. It doesn't forgive them. They should have never given out bad loans. And they should never had so much leverage because a lot of them were hurt badly by Luna too, right? So this doesn't forgive them. But it's all looking like it's pointing to one man. This guy right here, SBF, that may have caused the downfall of everything. Makes you wonder. But I'm sure as the investigation continues, as a new CEO of FTX looks into the books and as prosecutors and regulators dig in, the truth will be revealed for sure. And this guy that's been doing a lot of interviews telling everyone that, hey, this is just, I didn't know what was going on. Everything is just like, moving without me. I had no clue. It's all going to come out. And it's going to be revealed that it's nonsense. He knew exactly what was going on. There's no way in hell he didn't know what was going on. All right. So, wanted to start out with that. Truth comes out. A little bit. As for other things that's going on, well, Bloomberg strategist Mike McGlone, big commodity guy, big Bitcoin guy, thinks that the crypto market will come out ahead in 2023. And he makes some good he makes some good arguments. Let's just put it that way. One that I haven't heard a lot of people talk about is this. A lot of people refer to the period we're in right now, crypto winter. But he argues it's not crypto winter. It's investment winter. It's everything winter. Okay? NASDAQ tech got absolutely slaughtered this year too. Everything got slaughtered this year. It's not just the crypto thing. It's because the macro environment, the rate hikes and everything else, right? So he's like, you can't just say this is crypto winter. Everything got affected. But in 2023, he does think things will get better. Of course, there's a lot of on-chain stuff that shows that we are extremely oversold. But if you're looking at other things like commodities and stuff, right, they all look like they want to turn in 2023. So he thinks that Bitcoin and crypto will come out ahead in 2023. And I do think so too. I don't think the first half of 2023 is going to be that great, but I do think the second half of 2023 will be much better. Once the rate hikes start tapering off and stopping, that's when we could have true recovery. But up until then, we will still have rate hikes, and inflation may still be on the rise, right? And we still have supply chain issues. We still have war. We have a lot of things going on. But I think second half of 2023 is when things could really turn around and heading into the halving event in 2024. And then, of course, just to show you guys the basics, the fundamentals of Bitcoin, people that continue to hold, yeah, it's going up. 0.1 or more Bitcoins being held in addresses continues to go up, skyrocketing right now. Like, has not come down at all. Just keeps going up, And that is what you want to see. Accumulation when things are low and down, right? And then balance exchanges, the opposite, is dropping like a rock. And that is also what we want to see. We want to see Bitcoin being taken out of exchanges, right? That's only going to add to the scarcity factor. The less Bitcoins there are on exchanges, the better it is, right? So these are still looking good. As for other stuff that's going on, institutions to tokenize $25 billion in off-chain assets in 2023. Van Eyck executives predict, and also BlackRock said this too. So another use case that may be coming, okay, in 2023 and 2024 and beyond is tokenization of securities and tokenization of property, tokenization of literally everything. I think it will. I think it will happen. A lot of things, and it's been said, NFTs will drive the revolution for tokenization. I know that doesn't make sense, tokenization, but like basically putting things on the chain, right? These NFTs can be used for a variety of things. Right now, it's more or less just pretty pictures, but the use case for NFTs go way beyond just pretty pictures. You could do contracts. You can verify things like, for example, I don't know, archaic documents when you buy a house, right? Your title company wants all this stuff. You can put all that on a blockchain, right? You can tokenize it. You can NFT it. And there's other things that you can do. You can break up properties, right? I think this already started happening. Just homes. If you want to buy a fractional share of a home, right? You can tokenize it. I mean, there's so many things that we can do. It's still so early right now, and it seems kind of silly, but in the future, I think it's all going to be done. It's just a matter of time. It's just a better way to do things if you think about it. So now you put everything on a chain. Everything could be verified. Nothing could be. Everything's transparent. Everything can't be modified or changed or hacked, and it just makes a whole lot of sense. All right, so there's that, and then let's see the U.S. market today. U.S. market finally opened in the green, although NASDAQ is barely clinging on. NASDAQ may still turn red, but we had 5 consecutive red days. I did see this breaking news. WNBA star Brittany Griner is released. There's a high-profile prisoner swap between the U.S. and Moscow. Joe Biden said he's been working on this for quite some time. They had to, they changed arms dealer that had served 11 years out of a 25-year sentence. That's who they traded, Victor Bout. But yeah, she is now free. Obviously, everyone knows that she was caught doing some bad stuff, yes, but it didn't justify the 11 or 9 years that they sentenced her, right? It was just a ploy to get the U.S. to do some kind of prisoner swap. But it's good that she has been released. So, but in the meantime, the war still continues. Putin says he's prepared for a long, long war in Ukraine, and he just does not want to give up. But the good thing is, it does seem like Ukraine is still making good progress on recovering lands that was taken, right? So they're pushing the Russians back. So overall, it seems like things are still moving in the right direction, positive direction. Former Theranos COO Sunny Balwani sentenced to 13 years in prison. Elizabeth Holmes also sentenced to 11 years in prison, although she's trying to contest that. I mean, this court case has been ongoing for like how many years? Like 10 years, and they're still trying to fight it. But yeah, she got what she deserves, and so and him too. And then lastly, I saw this was weird. 4 major tech companies, Google, Oracle, Amazon, and Microsoft, all rewarded a Pentagon cloud deal up to $9 billion. I don't even know how they go divided up. I don't even know why the Pentagon decided to just give it to all the companies. It should just be one. It should just be to Amazon or Microsoft. If you're spreading out among 4 major tech companies, I don't even know how they're going to talk to each other. They all have their proprietary software and systems, so I don't even know how that works.